Basketball going on this week. Where you going to go?
Did you see Javar Daniels' stats last night? 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks.
Sounds like a double-double.
Yeah, Bartlett's 5-0 already.
Man, you never know what can happen at state this year if they make it.
And they're looking pretty tough so far.
Gentlemen, it's still football season.
All right, my take one this week, I got the specialist kicker for the Lausanne Lynx, Max Gilbert. Max, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Max, let's talk about your senior year. So I know y'all lost a heartbreaker, 21-13 to CPA. But let's talk about your career as a whole as a Lausanne Lynx.
I mean, it was I think I had a great career. I'm sad that it's over. Look, we lost in a tough way, but I mean, I wouldn't change it. I love all my teammates, all my coaches, and I would do it all over again if I had the chance. You
know, you told me off air that you had an interesting junior year. You know, you were celebrating, what was like a 50-yarder?
Yeah, it was 54-yard field goal. It's the school record. He was holding it, Brock was holding it, and I jumped up to celebrate after I made and just landed awkwardly and ended up tearing my ACL and both of my meniscus, and then just worked hard in the offseason, worked hard after that, and I was blessed and happy to come back.
I'm happy to see you come back too, following your high school career. I'm like, that's tough to even swallow from one thing, and then just rehabbing, you got to take one day at a time in general.
Yes, sir.
Talk about a favorite game as a Lausanne Lynx with me.
Favorite game? Last year we beat BGA in the playoffs in the quarterfinals. I wish I played, but I didn't play because I was hurt. So probably favorite game. My freshman year, the state quarterfinals, we played FRA at home, and we were losing by like 2 touchdowns. And we came back and blew them out and ended up winning by like 4 touchdowns, and that was an awesome game to be a part of. And then this year too against South Gibson, because they beat us last year, ruined our perfect season, and it was really nice to go down to their place again on their homecoming, their senior night, and beat them like we did, and that was a really good win.
I told people during the playoff edition that South Gibson team was a dangerous team because they played a tough non-conference schedule, including y'all. Yeah. And I got them ready for that Craigmont game, and it showed how they won against that Craigmont Chiefs. But talk about how Coach Kevin LaCastro has an impact in your life.
I'll say this all the time, he's like a father figure to me. He's one of the best guys in the area, one of the best coaches in the country, and he loves everyone on a level more than football. I mean, he tells us all the time that we're like his kids, and anything we need, we can come to him. And he's impacted thousands of players over his career, and
absolutely,
I'll continue in my career, in my lifetime, to come back to him and hang out with him.
He's definitely part of the Mount Rushmore in this area, in my opinion.
Been doing it for a long time at a high level.
Absolutely. So now you're going to be a team that just lost to South Carolina, University of Tennessee. No hard feelings, Thomas, but talk about how you're going to be early enrolling in the University of Tennessee and Josh Heupel's special teams for Tennessee.
Yeah, you know, Heupel, it's only his second year in the program, and he's been doing unbelievable things in a short amount of time. I mean, in the situation that they were in with Pruitt, and then fast forward a year and a half later, and they were this close to making the college football playoff. I mean, what he's been doing is unbelievable, and I couldn't be more excited to join that program and be a part of it real soon.
And you are going to be enrolling early January too, so I'm happy that you know. We don't see a lot of players in this Memphis area in general graduate early, like yourself and Brock and others. But congratulations on that milestone, and good luck to get Tennessee, and I'll see you in Knoxville sometime.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, Max.
Thank you.
All right, guys, my take 2 this week. We got the quarterback from Lausanne Lynx, Brock Glenn. Just for some stats out there for some listeners out there. His freshman year, he only threw 1 pass, but was 1 for 1 for 21 yards. Sophomore year, 46 of 85 for 912 yards with 15 touchdowns and how many interceptions? 1. Junior year, 97 of 155 for 1576 for 23 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. And then his senior year this year is 74 for 126 for 1413, 18 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So, Brock Glenn, thank you for joining me this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Brock, first of all, let me talk about how y'all fell short as well. Y'all finished the year 8-2, lost to CPA as well, like I just told Max. But to talk about your senior year as a Lausanne Lynx.
It was a special year. It was definitely my favorite year at Lausanne. Just the brotherhood and bond that all of my teammates were able to build. Truly believed that we were a family, so that was very important to me, and I value family a lot. I think that's very important in life in general. But the season was fun. Obviously 8-2, it's not bad, but it's definitely not how we wanted to finish. I believe that we are the better team. I think we should have pulled it out versus CPA, but sometimes things don't go as planned, and I think that's kind of why football is so good, because it teaches you about life. It's not always going to happen how you want it, even though you think it should and you think it's the right thing.
I'm not saying by no means this might not be an excuse at all, but do you think the experience factor was kind of like in CPA's advantage in that game a little bit too?
Not necessarily, just because we had 4 starting offensive linemen who were seniors, and
Okay.
we've all been playing since freshman year. So we were really experienced at the line, and then we had our junior, Luke Wirt, who is a Power 5 recruit. And to be honest, we dominated up front. So they had a heck of a game, and just a couple of things went wrong, and stuff happened that we couldn't control, that we just let it slip away from us.
And then Brock, talk about your favorite game as a Lausanne Lynx.
My favorite game is definitely probably South Gibson this year. Like Max said, it was their homecoming, their senior night, and we had the bad taste of last year in our mouth. We again thought we should have won that game. We had a final game-winning drive that we came up just short with time expiring. So we definitely wanted to get back at that, and then we came out and played a great game offensively and defensively, and it was just fun playing with my guys.
Talk about what Kevin LeCastro has done for you as well.
He's an amazing dude. Like I said, I came in from Covington. My mom, my brother, and I showed up to Lausanne one day and met with Coach LeCastro, and he took us in. He was honest with us. He took us in. He knew nothing about me, but took me in and my family, made us feel at home, and he helped develop me to be the person and player I am today. He is truly a father figure and someone who you can go to for advice. So he's meant everything to me, and I know not only me, but every person on our team, every player, every coach. We can always go to Coach LeCastro. He's just an outstanding dude, and he's a great coach.
What can we tell our fans that might not know what happened yesterday on Monday to our listeners?
So yesterday I flipped my commitment from Ohio State to Florida State. I just like the direction that the program's going in, and what Coach Norvell is building there. I want to be a part of it. Obviously, I respect Ohio State and their entire staff and everything they have going for them. They're a top 2 team and have a chance at the Natty this year. So it was definitely hard turning that down, but I do see what Coach Norvell is building there, and I want to be a part of that.
I look forward to that. Hopefully it'll still happen. 2024, Memphis travels to Florida State.
Yes, sir.
And maybe I'll be 50-50 on that game.
Yes, sir.
Because, get to know you over the years as well. I've always been a fan of yours, just like Max in general.
Thank you.
And I appreciate what you've done for the city as well, just like Max. And see you in Tallahassee, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Take 3. I see where Max got a Tennessee finger.
Yep.
I see where he's got a Florida State mug all of a sudden. What's going on with that? You got brought that with you, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Y'all find out later on tonight around 7 o'clock or so that y'all might be a finalist for Mr. Football. I just want to say congratulations on being a semifinalist as well, first of all, for that.
Thank you.
Just talk about how that award impacts the Lausanne community, as well as Mr. Eric Gray was a winner as well in years past. Brock, start out with you.
I think it does a lot for Lausanne in general. It brings the school a lot of attention, and it really is a great school, academically for sure, and athletically for sure as well. What Coach Castro has been able to do there is absolutely incredible. He develops players, but the team as well, and he always has a good team. No matter who he has playing for him, he can make a good team. So I think it does wonderful for the school and Coach DeCastro and all Lausanne in general.
And also for the city of Memphis as well, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. No
Max, go ahead with you.
And like Brock said, I mean, the Mr. Football Award's an honor for both of us and for everyone to be even considered for an award like that. I mean, I know it's changed over the years. Now they consider, along with athletic achievement, academics, and character. So it's just I'm honored to be considered for that award. And like Brock said, it brings a lot of publicity to Lausanne and the city and for everyone that was nominated to their communities. And good luck to everybody, and I hope we're both finalists. So.
Appreciate y'all joining me for that take 3, because me personally, we should get more votes out there, for this area in general. But you know how it is in Middle and East Tennessee. It's hard because they got a little bit more people, out there voting for certain players.
Yes, sir.
And they don't watch enough games out this way as well. But y'all, good luck tonight. Hopefully y'all bring it home for the city of Memphis.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, my take 4 this week, some recap of some games over last week. Bartlett won 16-14 over Germantown. Covington 24, Dyersburg 10. Haywood 64, Mountain 14. Mace rallied and beat Peabody 26-24. Terry Hahn with the Bartlett Express joins me now, who went to the Germantown Bartlett game. Terry, thanks for joining me again this week.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the dominant performance of the Bartlett offense. I know at times where Germantown really didn't see the field at all in that one. So just talk about it.
Yeah, Germantown came out, punched them, and Bartlett came back, tied the game at 7, then forced a punt, and that's when it kind of changed. They down the punt on the half-yard line, and Bartlett just put together an 8-minute drive that spanned the last part of the first quarter, most of the second quarter. Then they got an onside kick and kept the ball and got a field goal out of that. And then they got the second half kickoff. So Germantown didn't really have an offensive play until, midway through the third quarter. And Bartlett had a good, 16-7 lead at the time. So
Yeah, wild stat from that game, like Terry just mentioned, they had a 14-play, 99-yard drive to take a 13-7 lead in the second quarter. Then they recovered an onside kick, and then they ran 14 more plays before kicking a field goal right before half. And then they got the opening kickoff in the second half and ran 10 more plays, so that's like 38 plays in a row, where Germantown really didn't see the offense until like 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
right.
But a key in that game, like we talked about the last 2 weeks, is the time of possession, where Bartlett dominated, like we just talked about. And they kept Germantown's offense off the field, and they used their running backs and Neal, Jerron Johnson a lot,
Yeah. Jared
and
Hunt.
then Hunt, and then they used Brock on his legs as well, or Braden Ragland's legs as well, a little bit more in general too in that one.
Yeah, and you had mentioned special teams would be big, and they were. 2 big plays, getting the onside kick, and then Ramon Rinkin, who's been one of the standout players for Bartlett on defense all year, blocking that kick, the field goal, which would have put Germantown in position to win the game. Later, he blocked that kick, so those were huge plays. But you're right, they did keep them off the field. When Germantown got back on the field, I mean, they moved the ball in the third quarter, and they scored a touchdown, and Bartlett just held on, really. It was a good game.
Absolutely.
Really good game.
Also, I think where Bartlett's defense also held Germantown to like 5 for third down conversions, 5 and 9 for that game as well. And Bartlett's third down conversions were 10 of 18 on third down conversions in that game as well.
Yeah.
So it's another key fact for that one. But Bartlett's got a running team coming into their hospitality on Friday night in Beach.
Yeah.
What can the Panthers do to win that game against Beach on Friday night?
Well, Beach is big up front. I mean, they've got to win the battle in the trenches. Really, that's going to be key. But Coach Tucker said they're not going to change. They're going to look for big plays. They're going to throw the ball down the field. So they're going to be Bartlett, like he said, good or bad. So they got to be on. They've got to have a balanced attack. They've got to be able to run the football, but they are going to throw it some too. So we'll see. I mean, you get to this point, you just play your heart out, really.
And then I think Bartlett's going to have to get some turnovers in that game as well, and get them going on offense as well in that one.
Yeah,
Get their offense back on the field.
Yeah, they got the defense for it. They've had a big play defense all year, and they didn't get any interceptions against Germantown. They probably do for one or two.
Maybe they'll get one for you being there again.
Yeah.
Why not? But I did get also real quick. So good luck to Bartlett Panthers in that one. I did get some quotes from Coach Cedric Miller regarding the Mace game coming up against who they got. McKenzie playing that game at Melrose. It's a battle of undefeated. So one great team has to go home in that one. But Coach Miller said it was a great feeling to be the only Shelby County school left and still playing football in this time of the year. We were grateful and humble at the same time. We have a lot of work to do, but we're just trying to go 1-0 every week, and that's just one game at a time. But Kamaro Brown and Coach Miller and Mace do play at Melrose, so if anybody wants to go out and go support Mace, go out and watch that one. While Covington plays East Nashville, who's 11-2 on the year. So good luck to all of our local teams this week on the semifinals. Hopefully we'll get some more local teams going on to Chattanooga this week. And ride that Chattanooga train and then go support the guys next week. All right, this week on the JS Report for West 10 Media, I got Josh Reeves. Josh, thank you for joining me this week.
Thank you for having me.
Josh, let's just talk about the season so far. You're off to a great start. I know we throw out the records when it comes to playoffs, but just talk about the season. What you have thought about your senior year so far?
I think going in, we had a lot of talent, and we were kind of underviewed. We were looked at to be fifth in the region and not even making the playoffs, and then started off with a great victory over Lausanne. Kind of set us in motion, most like the CPA game 2 years ago. Really gave us a good team to beat and get some momentum, and then playing Germantown and Hoover. Of course we lost, but that gave us kind of the grit that we needed to play these hard teams, and coming back last Friday playing Germantown and having that ambition from when we lost to them and beating them 16-14, I believe. I just think those big games we played, had a lot of effect of how we're playing in these playoffs.
Good answer. You talked about the Lausanne game. To me, that could have basically, they have a little bit of a higher-powered offense, just like Germantown does. So talk about the Germantown game last Friday, where pretty much your offensive line, like yourself and other players, had that 99-yard drive in the first half against a quality defense in Germantown.
Right. So we went in that game knowing two things. One, it was going to be very, very cold. Our pass game was going to be severely affected. And in that case, we're going to have to run the ball. And two, as we're running the ball, we're running against probably the best defensive front or defense overall in Tennessee. And so we knew that, and also their offense is very slippery and very fast-paced and has a few really high-powered guys. And so the biggest goal is keep their offense off the field. So that's why you see in the second quarter we had a 99-yard drive, that onside kick, and kept us on the field the entire second quarter. And the third quarter we got the ball back, and really they didn't see the field for I think around 20 minutes. And that was definitely the biggest key, because although we may not have scored multiple times, we kept their offense off the field and kept them scoring multiple touchdowns.
Any special play other than the onside kicking that 90-yard drive kind of felt like y'all had this game pretty much wrapped up, maybe?
I don't think there's really any plays in particular that, well, there is one actually. Deshaun Catron pass, I think around 60-yard pass. He there's pass interference, but fell out of his hands and he fell on the ground, and it set on top of the Germantown defender, and he picked it up, and that was kind of an NFL type highlight, and I definitely thought that was a good thing. But also just our run game in general, we had multiple 5+ yard plays that were really significant just to get those first downs, keep the ball moving.
What can you say to look ahead against Beach out of Hendersonville? That is, to me, is probably one of the other best teams in the state with the running game as well.
Well, I mean, they play very similar to us against Germantown. They play clock management. They play run the ball, keep our offense off the field is what they're going to try to do. I think we know that. And so, I mean, there's really not a whole lot we can do about that. But one thing we can do is that means that our margin of error is going to be very small in offense, and that means that we can't run the ball every play and play clock management like they will. That means we're going to have to score when we get the ball. That also means that our defense is going to have to make some pretty big third and fourth down stops and keep them from scoring touchdowns.
And I think another key in this game as well, like the Germantown game, is where y'all convert on third downs as well, because y'all were like 10 of 18, I believe, on third down conversions in that Germantown game.
Right. It was pretty rough on those third downs, but I think that it'll be a little bit warmer so that we don't have to run the ball every play. We're going to have a little bit more hybrid offense this game.
Any special shout out to the Bartlett fan base? Try to tell them what time to get there Friday night.
You know, game starts at 7, but we like to see people out there at 6. You know, see us out there and get warmed up and get the people going.
All right, Josh. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Okay, I gotta get these basketball schedules. Got a couple tournaments coming up this weekend. Gotta head out to see Brighton and TRA basketball tonight. This should be a good matchup. Let's see. Some other things. So.
I thought I told y'all, it's still football season.
I'm sorry, Brock. my bad. Thank you, Brock, for reminding me. This Friday, I will be at the Bartlett Beach game. And hopefully Brock will be there too to support the Panthers. Hopefully Shelby County will come and rally for the Panthers. Good luck to Covington, Mason, all our area teams going to Chattanooga. And congratulations to our teams like the Lausanne Lynx, who had a great season and represented us very well. And going out to do great things. He's very intimidating. So Coach Norvell, I see why you picked him up. so best of luck to our teams, and we'll see you next week at the JS Report.